Is it good sex if you have to tell the other person what to do? That's the question. Of course, it can be good sex if you have to tell the other person what to do, but it can't be great sex. Now, hear me out. Of course, different people like different things. Sometimes people are brand new in a relationship, so you don't really know what the other person likes. You should have an idea what you like, but you may not necessarily know what the other person likes. You're in the ballpark area, maybe. But once you've established some type of relationship, whether an actual relationship or just a fucking relationship, once you are like going back and forth with this person, I was having this debate with a friend of mine. This is why I bring it up. If you have to tell the other person, this goes for men and women, if you have to tell the other person what to do during sex to please you, it can be good sex compared to not telling them, but it's not great sex. It's not great sex. And all the times when I've had great sex, and I know this is my perspective, but it's other people's perspective too, so tell me if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. When you're having great sex, you can barely talk. You can barely communicate, much less tell somebody specifically what they should do, what they need to be doing to please you. Now, some people do it, men and women. Some people do it, oh yeah, harder, faster, arch your back, you know what I'm saying, pop out your titties. Like, there's instructions for what you want someone to do that's based upon what you like. Yeah, you're like, you maybe you articulate that during sex with words, or maybe, it's just all body language. But what I'm saying is really good sex, the person does it, and then you're like, oh shit, that's what I was waiting for. That felt, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it's really, really good, that's why I make it this, there's this comparison. I make this parallel comparison. When people are having good sex, it's like tearing your clothes off. Like, you know what I'm saying? In those makeout movies, in those movies, or romantic movies, people are about to have sex and they're, kissing on each other and like, ripping their clothes off. And then they go they go have sex. Good sex is like that. When someone is telling you what to do, that's like you took off your clothes and then you started folding them. Like it's an order, like it's a protocol. Good sex, there's no protocol. It just happens. It's just passionate. It's just lustful. And that other person is like pushing you over the top, and then you're pushing them over the top. And it's just, and the whole time, I don't know why people make this face. Why do people make this face during good sex and before an orgasm? Why does their bottom jaw stick out? Like, why do people make that face? It's a dumbass looking face. You know what I'm talking about. Bottom jaw sticks out. What the fuck is that? But when it's really, really good sex, there's no protocol. There's no instructions. There's no, so some women like to tell men what to do so that he's not fucking around down there, gets her sore, wastes her time, he busts one, and then she doesn't get hers. So some women like to tell the dude, hey, hit that mark, you slide over a little bit, there you go. No, just stay with that nice rhythm. Now pick it up, now pinch my nipple. Some dudes like to be instructed because they're in the game. Coach on the sidelines, press, pick up the ball. They like to be yelled at because that means they're in the game. But some people like to play the goddamn game. And, take it to the hole, grab that rebound, throw the outlet pass, take that charge, block that shot. They don't want to be hearing it from the sidelines because that's the sidelines. Like, they don't want to be hearing it. They right here and now in the moment. Good sex is in the moment. Good sex is you rip your clothes off and then the next morning, or when you're done, they on the floor, they on the table, they on the counter or something. You wasn't thinking about where you put them. But when someone is instructing you on what you should do, that's like you stopping and taking your clothes off and you start forming it button to button, seam to seam, flip it over, lay it down nicely. Okay, I'm ready to have sex now. That's not good sex then. Or let me say, that's not great sex. So I was trying to explain to my man. I explained to my man, like, this is just my perspective, my opinion. Y'all tell me if y'all disagree or agree. This is for men and women. But I was trying to tell him, I was like, look, because he was talking about how he was one of his relationships and how she would like basically bark out orders. My bad, not bark out orders. She would give him orders, and you know, he got kind of used to doing that, so that the next girl that he was fucking with, he forgot how to go back to freestyle. And so I asked him at that point, I was like, that new girl that you was fucking with, did y'all ever get to a point where, like, you know, y'all became routine, regular? He was like, yeah. I was like, was the sex better than the one that was giving you orders? He was like, yeah. And I was like, that's because she was giving you orders. Great sex cannot be about someone giving you orders. From man to female, from female to man, from man to man, woman to woman, he to they to it to what. It can't be about giving orders. It can be instructional. It can be helpful. Like I say, the dude, if she's down there giving him head, he might be like, look, this is what you need to do. Here, let me get the back of your neck. Let me grab your ponytail and help you with it. The woman might be like, look, let me grab your head with both hands and literally rub you in the spot. But instructional is fine. Saves time, it's efficiency. But really, great sex, man, they just pressing buttons. They just doing things. And you reacting to all of it. And so when it's instructional sex, it's like it has a ceiling. They might be providing you a ladder, but it's a ceiling. Great sex, there's no ladder. But how in the fuck did you get up on the roof? You know what I'm saying? How in the fuck did you get orbital? Like, what the... So I come up with different analogies, and, you know, I'm a young Gen-Xer, so I got things from a certain perspective. But, like, this was my homeboy, and we was going back and forth, and so I was interested in the story that he was telling about how, like, this one chick was instructional, and he got used to that, so then when he started fucking with this other girl, he forgot how to freestyle. He was waiting for her to give him instructions. And I was like, that's interesting. But which sex was better? And he was like, oh, yeah, the new one. And I was like, is that because she was new? You know? But he eventually let it, that's because she just knew what to do. Because she knew what to do. Yes, sometimes you got to tell them. But that's a ladder in a room. It's only going to get you to a ceiling. It'll get you off the ground, but it's only going to get you a ceiling. But if you fucking with, or you yourself, if you learn, you just out here and you pick up on some things, great sex is not instructional. There's no manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like an actor. You can give someone that's an actor, a thespian, a script, and they go out there and they perform it like this. And you could just go up to someone that's a for real actor and just tell them what to do, and they'll just fucking do it. They'll just perform the scene. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be magic. You'll know. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it when you see it. And there's a lot of people like that. Like, you know, there's some people that's like, oh, you know, they need to be prepared. They need to be set up. And I'm talking beyond sex. They need to be prepared. They need to be set up. They need to write their lyrics. Nothing wrong with that. But when you do it, you better fucking nail it. And there's some people, they don't write their lyrics. They freestyle. And when you hear it, you're like, oh, that shit is a little bit raw, but that shit is up here. So when you know, so that's what I'm saying. Good sex can be instructional. Tell that person what you need them to know so that they don't make you sore down there, so that they don't waste your time. With great sex, you ain't got to tell them shit. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. This your boy. I'll holla at you.